Damn it, damn it, damn it. Ramaswamy upstaging me. I was gonna good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey of the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Starting early just because, damn it. Vivek, I was going to predict you were gonna drop out. How dare you upstage me with this? That's right, guys. Just a couple minutes ago, Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out of the race, said he's going to be appearing with Trump tomorrow, reportedly, which will be interesting. But guys, we're here for Iowa caucus night. Yay. Hi, how are you? Damn it. There's a good reason I was going to predict that, and I'll tell you why. Vivek needed a big win tonight. He needed to be second, maybe third, a strong third, if he had any hope of going forward. And the reason is he spent all of his time in Iowa. While we pointed out how much time he spent in Iowa as a good thing, and it is, it really only helps if you win that state, because he gets no momentum going into New Hampshire, a state he really has not campaigned in at all. So finishing in fourth place, as it seems he's going to, with about 7.5 to 8% of the vote, he just had to. Otherwise, he's just wasting his own money, because he has no chance of making any kind of real inroads. So that makes it a three-man race. It's a three-man race. DeSantis, Haley, and Trump. Will either of the other two drop out? No, not Haley, definitely, because she's put all of her eggs in the New Hampshire basket. And DeSantis finished second when all of the polls are like, he's going to finish third. He had a stronger finish. So I see him at least sticking around until New Hampshire. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, guys, we have a lot to talk about. Well, not really. Donald Trump won. It was a foregone conclusion. We all knew Donald Trump was going to win. I told you guys last night I didn't know how the primary was going to, the caucus was going to shake out exactly. But the one thing I was clear on is Trump was going to win. There was no question about it. Now, there were some questionable things about the call that he won. The media announces almost as soon as the voting begins. Not the voting is almost done, not the voting is over, but as the voting begins, they announce Trump as the winner. And the reason they did that is based on entrance polls. The people who were going into the caucus. Let's pull this on the screen so we have something besides my pretty face to watch as we listen. There we go. These are the official results as they're coming in. Thank you, Alan. It says, "Morning, Monkey." Good morning, sir. Hope you're well. Vivek isn't quitting; he's just suspended. Spittle, are you American? When a candidate drops out of a race, they always just call it suspending the campaign. They never say I quit. It's always the campaign has been suspended. So he quit. It's over. It's over for my man Vivek. Which, oh God, it does suck, because I do like Vivek as a candidate. I really do. He's going to go working with Trump, which is actually probably the best thing for him. He needs to up his profile. I like Vivek. I would like Vivek to be in American politics, and he's just got to up his profile right now. So they suspend so they can keep getting money. True. And then any money, because of different rules, has to be donated elsewhere, but still. Vivek endorsed Trump. Of course he did. And that's not unexpected, because he basically endorsed Trump throughout the campaign. His only complaint against Trump was that he doesn't think that Trump is going to be able to, well, he didn't get things done. He said he was basically lied to and mistreated by the people in Washington, which is true. But Vivek said that he doesn't think that they're going to allow Trump to be president. And I tend to agree with him. I don't know what they're going to do, but why is Iowa the first caucus state? I have no idea why it was decided the way it is. Why Iowa, of all places? If I was a political candidate, I'd want it somewhere like Texas, right? Somewhere warm. I don't want to be spending my fucking November, December, and January in Iowa. It's fucking cold there. But I'm honestly not sure why. I'm just keeping hope, but I understand. And yes, America. Okay, yeah. It's so you understand it is over. They just use that suspended word. Anyway, Donald Trump right now has 51% of the votes. This is a ridiculously low turnout, too. We're barely, is this 93% in and barely at 100,000 people? The record is what, 180,000 from, don't quote me, but I want to say 2016. It's a very, very cold day there in Iowa. It doesn't look like anybody really had the groundswell. You know what I mean? Yes, Trump wins by 51%, and that's huge, but it's not because of a groundswell of people who are like, I just really believe in this candidate. A lot of people who are supporting Trump just believe he got cheated last time and deserves another chance. And that's fine. And they still even believe in what he says, right? They believe in America first and MAGA and all that stuff. But it's not like it was expected that he was only going to get 30% of the vote, and out of nowhere he got 50. I mean, the polls were all saying 50 pretty much from the beginning. It's actually come down just a little bit as people like Haley have risen. We'll talk about my favorite whore here in a minute. But Trump wins this handily, and that's why Ramaswamy has to drop out. There's not enough support there to keep a campaign going, especially without, at least Nikki Haley has, I've done most of my campaigning in New Hampshire to fall back on, right? She bet all of her money on New Hampshire and South Carolina, the next two primaries. She's from South Carolina. I imagine that after South Carolina, if things go the way I'm expecting them to, that's when you start to see Haley think about dropping out. If she goes into her home turf and gets trounced like this, yeah, she just has to call it there. I'm not one of those people who's like, they should all just quit now. It's over. For all intents and purposes, yes, it's over. We've been saying this for months around here. Anything can happen any given Sunday. Hell, last I saw, the Eagles were losing to Tampa. But the reality is that Trump has just had this momentum since 2020. It just really is. However, that doesn't mean that the others shouldn't try. There should be options for people. This should be a primary where there's choices. And let the best man win the fight. And Trump is. I don't understand why so many people are afraid of him having the fight. But we got to concentrate on Biden. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. Fuck, if you support Trump, you shouldn't even be paying attention to DeSantis and Haley. Look at this outcome. Why are you spending all your time going after DeSantis and Haley when you've been telling me for 3 months that they had no chance? Well, obviously they meant something to you. You're not concentrating on Biden. So why are you so passionate about telling me what a shithead Ron DeSantis is if it doesn't matter at all? Why aren't you concentrating on Biden if it's a foregone conclusion? Just a question to consider. Razorfish said they should fight it out. They absolutely should fight it out. I've been saying that all along. But the Trump people treat Donald Trump like he is the incumbent because a lot of people see him that way. And for the record, I know Ben Shapiro said that tonight. I've been saying they've been treating him like an incumbent all along with my reasoning for. So 35 votes for Christie. Yeah. If we look at the rest of the results, so let's see. We have Trump at 54,000, Ron DeSantis at 22,000, Nikki at 20,000, Vivek 80,000. These are direct votes, by the way. This is the number of votes. Ryan Binkley, who I've never even heard of, got 750. Asa Hutchinson got 189. I imagine he'll be suspending too. Other got 82, and Chris Christie got 35. You came in under other, homie. Now, for the record, Chris Christie suspended his campaign as well. He dropped out the night of the last debate. And I honestly think he was trying to help Nikki Haley, and he clearly did. But can we talk about how bad? Oh, Asa did suspend? Okay, cool. But how bad Haley's showing is here? She's in third place, right? She's got 20,446 votes. Go, Haley. She ends up with 7 delegates. Iowa is not a winner take all state. In Iowa, in the primary, and I think most of the primaries are this way, it's proportionate to how many votes you got. So she got 7 compared to DeSantis has 8 right now and Trump with 20. But she's the media candidate. She's the one that has been on Fox News daily. She's been on CNN. She's even been over on MSNBC from time to time. She is the media candidate. We read a poll just yesterday, telling us how much you should be voting for Nikki. Granted, they don't put it that way, but she's the one who can beat Biden, y'all. She can beat Biden. One of the things, I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the things is they said she was stronger with independents. Well, the entrance polls, which led to them calling this for Trump, and we will get to this in a minute, pretty much as soon as the voting started. The entrance polls from NBC, at least, show us that Donald Trump did better with independents than Nikki Haley did. Nikki Haley gets 35% of independents, and Donald Trump got 41. And it's great because the coverage on NBC says Donald Trump edges out Nikki with independents. It was 41-35 in a 4-man race. In a 4-man race. How the hell is that edging out? I honest to God, have no idea. Other than them, they're still trying to make Nikki Haley a thing. So let's talk about them calling the race. I don't like how they did it. Okay, guys, I want to get that out in the open. I think the media calling this while the voting was still going on is disgusting. They should have waited until all of the caucusing was done, let everybody get their vote in without any kind of outside influence about, oh, my vote doesn't matter anymore or anything else like that, right? Let's just say it like it is. What they did was fucked up. However, the DeSantis campaign and a lot of DeSantis supporters need to calm the fuck down. You were not going to beat Trump based just on when they called the results, okay? They called it based on the polling that they did of people literally walking in to vote. This is like, normally we get what they call exit polling. And they are exactly what they sound like. Entrance polling and exit polling. Entrance polling are polls that are done as people are going in. Exit polling is polls that are done as people are coming out. And in this case, these are the entrance polls. And like 50 to 60% of people were saying they were voting for Trump. And so they called it pretty much immediately. And the results are actually showing that, if anything, it brought down Trump's numbers, not DeSantis, not Haley, not Ramaswamy. If he's getting 50 to 60, average that to about 55, he's only got 51% of the vote. And in a 4-man race, especially where 2 of the candidates have 20% of the vote, that's a win. That's a fucking win. Anyhow, I hate what they did, but the DeSantis supporters out there, his communication spokesperson, this just shows that the media loves Trump. What? The media loves Trump. All right. Let's discuss that for just a second, okay? At best, because I'm only gonna entertain retardation for a minute here. Even if you think that the press wants Trump to win, it's not because they're on Trump's side. It's because they honestly believe Joe Biden has a chance in hell against Donald Trump. That's why they want Nikki Haley, let's be honest. But let's suggest just to entertain these retards for half a second that yes, they want Trump to win. It's not because they want Trump. It's not because they like Trump. It's not because they support Trump. It's because they think they can beat Trump. And that's it. That is it. DeSantis really needs new PR people. He needs his side to calm the fuck down. How do I want to say this? Trump and DeSantis supporters are all insane. The hardcore. Hashtag not all, but the hardcore. the loudest voices, the loomers, the fuck, I can't even think, the Pushaws, these kind of people, they need to just calm the fuck down. His communication director saying this, there's good reason to come out and go, hey, this is fucked up. Why are you doing this? But then to add on, it just shows they love Trump. No, it doesn't. That's retarded. That's retarded. It shows that they read the entrance polls, and when the first several votes came in, they pretty much backed up the entrance polls. So they went, yeah, Trump's got this in a walk. And he did. Look at the fucking results. Does anybody here really think that at this caucus, people were like, oh, Trump won. I guess I'm going to vote for Trump. I mean, maybe some. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Loomer needs to go back on her meds. Loomer needs to just go the hell away. She needs to go back to a relevancy like from the days when she used to hang out with, let's call them alt-right figures, because they were. She used to. How is it that of all of the women of that era, Laura Loomer's the one that stuck around? Of all of them, she's the one that has the most relevance right now. How the fuck did that happen? It's because the other ones actually, went out and had babies and met men. And she's a dried up old hag who has, I don't even know if she has any blue gumballs left. I'm going to switch to this picture just because I think it's funny. Donald Trump wins the primary. There's no real surprise here. I put surprise in the title because I thought it was funny. The only real surprise, honestly, to me, is how bad Haley did. Haley coming in third is embarrassing. It's just fucking embarrassing. Oh wow, people age, you don't say. The others age too. They just met men and had babies because they're not insane. And people could actually stand to be in the same room with them. Laura Loomer's fucking horrible. She is a bad person. And Mr. Trump, you don't need Laura Loomer. Please distance yourself from that crazy bitch. Just distance. She's. He has a face on his chin. I mean, he kind of does. Yeah. He's got like a little alien face there. All right. So what happens next? I'm very interested to see how DeSantis does going into New Hampshire. If DeSantis comes in second in New Hampshire, that is the death knell to Haley. She spent so much time and money there. And even being the former governor of South Carolina is not going to save her. So it really does come down to who's going to be the one that runs against Trump probably for the next month or two. The two of them, Haley and DeSantis, can't keep running against each other and Trump. One of them is going to have to give. So she's actually Laura Loomer's only 28. No. That she's got to be 40. She's got to be 40 at least. How the fuck she look? Never mind. I'm not here to talk about Loomer's crazy ass. There's no way. She's only 28. Okay. Well, like most of what she says, she hasn't aged well. Just saying. But she's 30. Oh my God. Now I feel bad for her, honestly. Dear Lord, woman, put down the microphone and I don't know. Just go away. Just go away. It's clearly not doing well for you. You look like a dude in drag. Serious. Anyway. Where are we? Vivek suspended. Yeah, I saw Pyrus. Nikki, who do you guys think is going to suspend next? Nikki or Ron? Given Ron's reaction tonight, Ron DeSantis, I don't know that I've actually seen him question this. I've seen it said that he questioned it, but they were actually talking about his campaign director doing it, or his communication director doing it. But he does have a legitimate gripe here. The question is, how long do you run on that gripe, right? It's not going to change the outcome of tonight. And let's say that it swayed anybody one way or the other. It actually makes more sense that people who were going to vote for Trump would go home than people who were going to vote for DeSantis or Haley. Oh, he's already won, and no real reason for me to be here freezing my ass off anymore. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm not one of the voters, so hell, I don't know. The thing is, though, you still finished in second. You finished in second, barely edging out Miss Haley. So at some point, Ron has got to look at this and go, how much further can we go? Not if Trump is in, but if Haley stays in. Haley and DeSantis are pretty much running against each other to be the person to run against Trump. And at a certain point, it just becomes mathematically unviable to still be running. Eventually, you're just taking from each other so much that you have no choice, right? Second place is the first loser. True. But in politics, it can lead to being the winner. I know it's weird, especially the way that our primary system goes. But if one of those two doesn't drop out by South Carolina, then it's 100% Trump wins this thing unless his plane goes down or they Guantanamo his ass or something. It's his to lose right now. But at that point, if you make it through South Carolina and it's still the three of them, there's no reason for it to be the three. Again, I'm not saying they need to drop out. I'm just talking mathematically, politically. You've shot yourself in the foot enough that one of you needs to go like, all right, I'll drop, so that as an actual alternative to Trump, there's only one person. Thank you. Understatement. She's white. Y'all tend to age like fine cottage cheese. No offense. But she has great credit, or bet she has great credit, though. I bet you she doesn't. This is the woman who couldn't get new tires. We do age a lot different than other folks do. Understatement. That's not wrong. But usually they make it to 30 still looking okay. I'm just saying, man. I don't want to think about Laura Loomer because she looks like a dude doing drag of Linda Sarsour. Y'all know who she is, right? That really horrible Muslim chick. That's what Laura Loomer looks like. She looks like a dude doing drag of Laura. Anyway, somebody please explain the appeal for Nikki Haley. Well, Nikki is a neocon conservative with feminist leanings on social issues. Now, that might not be appealing to you, but that does appeal to a certain group of voters. And the press really likes her because if you got to have any of these candidates, she's the best one if you can't have Biden as your president. That's all. She could look worse. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean she looked good. And I don't even care how she looks. My biggest problem with Laura Loomer is she's a fucking retard. She's a fucking idiot. She's the kind of person that speaks and makes the side you're on look dumb. And then you have to do damage control because this retard got listened to. That's Laura Loomer. Do you think that Vivek may return as an independent? No. I think Vivek is going to be full-on Trump supporter now, and I think that because of this, we'll probably see him in the Trump administration. I know he says he doesn't want VP, and maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just wants to be a surrogate for the campaign. But I would really like to see him go into something. I really don't want him to go work for Trump. I know a lot of people do. He's a young guy. He's got time. If he doesn't go to VP is his best shot for president in 2028. But I would much rather see him go into state politics first. Go see him run Ohio. Go run Ohio. That's what I'd really like to see. Where's Jack? I have no idea. He's got the link. How funny that the lefties now have to root for DeSantis or get Trump. they're still going to vote for, or they're still going to root for Haley for a little while. They still have hope in this crazy bitch. They still think she has a chance. The interesting thing for her is that her best move right now, short of dropping out, is that she needs to go in hard on Donald Trump. What is your view on Gen Z conservatives turning on MLK Jr.? I spoke about that last night. I think the stuff going on with MLK Jr. is retarded. I think when you have Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk coming together, you have nuclear levels of retardation. As I said last night, I don't agree with people who go out there and be like, the founders sucked because slavery, negating all the good they did. And I don't agree with shitting on Martin Luther King's legacy. What he's known for. Like, no, what he actually is was a horrible piece of shit because he cheated on his wife. That's my favorite. My favorite. Nick Fuentes, this piece of fucking shit who used to hang around with a dude who sent dick pics to underage kids and asked them for their nudes and defended this piece of shit. He has the nerve to be out there talking about how Martin Luther King was a degenerate because he might have cheated on his wife. For real? Fuck you. You're just a racist trying to pretend that you're not. Fuck that guy. There's no reason to be going after MLK other than to give ammunition to people who want to call you a fucking racist. King's legacy, as it's known, even if you want to call it a myth, is that he was for judging people by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin, treating everybody equal. Meritocracy, that's his legacy. And these idiots are like, we have to shit on that because people like a black, I mean, the reality. Fuck off. That's what I think of that. Black Dynamite, thank you. Donald Trump, baby. Yeah. Congratulations to those of you who support Donald Trump. Your man won. And deservedly so. I mean, did you guys see his victory speech? His victory speech was really good. It very much reminded me of his victory speech in 2016, where everybody expected, because it's Trump, right? It's Trump, and he's gonna be Trump and get up there and be a. But he didn't. He got up there and he took a little jab at Nikki and Ron, a very small one, but then he said, "Hey, they did a good job. They did a good job, and they should be commended. And we all need to come together now." I think Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk come together a lot, actually. Never shine a black light in their direction. Yeah, right. Yeah. It was amazing watching his speech and how conciliatory he was. I don't know how any of his cutting out for a second. I'm sorry. Show it. You want to see Donald Trump's speech? It's kind of long, but we can watch the beginning of it where he's nice, because the rest of it, I mean, it's standard boilerplate kind of. No. I need my history. I don't need to be over here. There we go. Oh, they've already chopped off the front of it. I watched this. Who did I watch this on? How is their content? Okay, I'm just going to bring you guys in on this as I'm doing it, because I'm very confused here. This is the video, and there's context. Oh, because he says he believes he won the election. That's why they threw context on here. Anyway, President Trump delivers his victory speech. It seemed pretty low in my ears, so I don't know how well this is going to come out for you guys.
I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most
Does that sound low?
we want to thank the great
that's better.
people of Iowa. Thank
That wasn't
you.
me.
We
That
love
was
you
them.
all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing.
See what I mean? See what I mean? How conciliatory he is. I think it'd be great if everybody could. He almost pulls a Biden here, right? Everybody should come together so we can stop all this horribleness. Does he have neck issues? Trump, not that I'm aware of. Are you saying because he always has his head cocked to the side?
Practically never been like this. It's just so important. And I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon. I want to thank some of the great people. We have so many senators. If I go through every name, we'll be here all night, and everybody's going to get angry at me. But the Senate.
Yeah, because Donald Trump does have a tendency to just ramble on. Love or hate the guy, that's just true.
The congressmen from Washington that came down from all different states, I want to thank you very much. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having a good time together. We're all having a good time together.
See, he wanted to do it right there. He wanted to fuck with him a little bit.
And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Kerry Lake, congratulations. And see, even there where he says we don't even know what the outcome of is second place, there's some people in the audience who had a laugh, but he wasn't laughing. He was being sincere. Like, we don't even know, but I think they did a good job. And this is, okay, Trump supporters, for the love of fuck, listen to me. This is how you should be. You guys shouldn't be out there still insulting these people that you need to help you to win the general election. When did the Dems really start to panic? About 5 months ago. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? Going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek, because he did a hell of a job. He came from 0, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. I think most importantly, I want to thank my incredible wife.
Okay, then he just goes into thanking the people in his campaign. So see what I mean? I mean, very much being kind to everybody, being nice. Hey, and this is something people don't understand, and I've said this about Trump before. Trump is a New York politician, all right? When it comes to the campaign, he is dirty, he is nasty, he plays to win. But when it's over, it's over. Bygones be bygones. And that's hard for a lot of the country and a lot of Trump fans to understand, is that in some cases, is it personal? Sure. Is it in most cases? No. Because it's just how they do things. We the hardest fought, even dirty, nasty campaign, right? But then when it's over, there were a lot of people, like with Ted Cruz, when the 2016 era ends and he drops out, and people who supported Cruz like, how dare you bend to this knee? He called your wife ugly, and he said your dad was a Nazi. Well, because it's just exactly, Johnny Hellcat, the Miss Kamala with it was a debate. That's kind of how it is. And New York politics is nasty. It always has been. But they kind of sanitized it a little so that Hillary can become a senator there. But Trump is old school. He plays to win and he gets nasty, but he doesn't necessarily mean it. He wants to win, and he thinks he's a better candidate than the other person, but he's not going after him like, I hope you die. Like the people, the McCain folks who got so mad at him because he's I like somebody who didn't get shot down or somebody who didn't get captured. Like, how dare he ever say something about that? Like, I wasn't off that comment didn't mean shit to Trump other than fuck John McCain. He wasn't taking a shot at veterans. He wasn't taking a shot at POWs. He was taking a shot at a guy he didn't like. It's politics, bitch. Exactly, Frosted. It's politics. That's politics, bitch. From Always Sunny in Philadelphia, for those of you who don't watch the show. But anyway, let's go back and get a little update on this. It doesn't look like they've updated much. DeSantis picks up a couple, maybe 400 more people than he had before. Trump picks up more. Haley, not so much. This is embarrassing for Haley. It really, really is. I cannot stress how embarrassing this is for her, with all of the free publicity from the media who actually does like her. You know, DeSantis's campaign out there, they love Trump. No, they don't. They love Nikki Haley. And we've seen it over and over. Dr. Resurrect, thank you so much for that feminist $12. Trump likes to take personal shots at people, but it's never personal. Yes. And that is hard for people to understand. It is hard for people to grasp being able to do that, because most people take everything personally. And yeah, it's probably a detriment to Trump, his supporters right now. I saw Jenna Ellis. She had a post where she's like, "Unity? How dare you call for unity?" And yeah, let's bring up her tweet, because I want to highlight part of it. Part of what she says is retarded. It's just absolutely retarded. And then the other part, there's something to it. Oh God, yeah, I forgot I was arguing with this retard. This guy who apparently I'm a Trump supporter, and then I point out I wasn't a Trump supporter. Goes, well, you're a Biden supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter either. Oh, you're part of the problem. You're one of those who doesn't vote for either. So there's really no winning with you, is there? There is no winning at all. But anyway, this is the post. You expect me to just unify now? Yeah, this historic win totally makes me willing. By the way, it is a historic win. I think it's 12.5%. It was the biggest win before in Iowa. And Trump's up by like 30. So, but anyway, this historic win totally makes me willing to forget all of the principled reasons not to support Trump, that half of the GOP doesn't want a second term, and the last year of vile harassment from his campaign because unity. LOL. Okay, if you're gonna, this is just a minor thing. If you're gonna do the LOL and you're going to stretch out one of those parts, it probably should be the first L, because that's the laugh. You said laugh out loud, loud. That's just retarded. I know it's a minor detail. It's a nitpicky detail. Maybe she just really wanted us to know how loud she is. That's between you and your hubby, baby. Of all potato, thank you. Trump treats it like he treats a business deal, cutthroat and backstabbing. But after it's done, he'd sit down, have a laugh, and have a drink with you. Non-alcoholic for him, of course. Sure, yeah, exactly. But what Jenna says here, it's this last part. This part right there. This is the part that matters. The first one, just forget the principled reasons not to support him. Okay, anybody who has principled reasons not to support Trump is not going to support Trump in the general election anyway. The next thing she says is half of the GOP doesn't want a second term. Okay, those people aren't going to vote for him anyway. But that last part, the vile treatment from his campaign. And while Jenna has brought a lot of that on herself by being a turncoat little shit, and I don't use the disloyal thing as most Trump supporters do. She literally did throw him under the bus because she got indicted. And instead of just going, it's kind of forced into this, she's gone full on fuck Trump. She's not just, I'm not supporting him anymore, or she's full on fuck Trump. So fuck her. She's deserved it. But a lot of the people who get very similar treatment have simply said, I prefer DeSantis over Trump. I support Haley over Trump. Granted, those people are retarded. I support even Vivek. I can't make this up. There was a dude. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I have that one too. Go to my profile right here. Dom Lucre, whatever his name is. I follow this guy, and I don't always agree with him, and especially not when it comes to his Trump zealotry. But he says this: breaking, Ramaswamy suspends his campaign and endorses Donald Trump for president. Great run, Vivek. Hopefully we can change America as one. Literally 30 minutes before this, he was talking about what a fucking horrible person Vivek was. Like half an hour earlier. And he's like, no, maybe we can change it. I wonder, did he delete that? I wonder if he did. Thank you, Hoko. Wait for the 200K 2 a.m. vote dump for Nikki. Go Bucks. Did the Bucks finally finish? Did they finally win? Let me see. Did he delete it? Oh, it's right here. If you took a picture with Vivek and platformed him, you shouldn't be attacking anyone for getting on that magical short bus. But hey, guys, Vivek is a great person. Great person now that he supports Trump. It really is almost a religious thing for some of these Trump supporters. Hashtag not all. I don't want to throw every Trump supporter under the bus. There's a lot of people who just think he's the better candidate. There's a lot of people who thinks he deserves a term because he got cheated. And then there's a lot of people who treat him like the God Emperor thing wasn't a joke. All right? It's supposed to be a joke. Some of y'all need to chill the fuck out. Stop alienating people you guys are going to need in November. In November, you need DeSantis supporters. You even need some of the Haley supporters. Donald Trump cannot win the general election with only 50% of the Republican vote. So stop shooting yourselves in the foot, for fuck's sake. Pump up your guy. Point out why you think the other guy's wrong, but stop making it so personal. Most of you don't have the emotional capacity to do so because you can't separate the hatred. And that really does need separated out if you're going to be having these kind of discussions. I saw one person who's like, I guess now Haley and DeSantis have to drop out. And they were being serious. And I'm like, that makes no damn sense. Why? Because of one result? Yes, Donald Trump's going to win this. But at that, we still have a long way to go. And if you're saying things like that, they should drop out. I mean, if you want to make the argument that they have no chance to win, I guess. But if it's just because they haven't won yet, that's the wrong argument to be making. If you think, hey, Donald Trump is just the better candidate, that's the argument to make. Supporters, yes. DeSantis or Haley, no. The ones against Trump are the bigger problem. Okay, young geezer, why would you want to make more never Trumpers? There's already a decent size of that in the Republican Party anyway. Why would you want to be encouraging more of that? Conservatives acting like they're on the left. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, fuck, we saw that with the Martin Luther King stuff, right? And Martin Luther King, he's that's the kind of shit that the left pulls on the founding fathers. Why are y'all doing this shit? Why are y'all acting like the people we've been making fun of for a fucking decade now? Well, they get away with it. Yeah, and I make fun of them for it. And if you think I'm not going to make fun of you for it too, you're wrong. Anyway, Vivek wasn't just running for president. He was promoting an idea that the top two took their hearts and have talked about. He was promoting an idea that the top two took. I'm not sure I understand what you mean there. I think Vivek actually was running for president. I guess if you want to make the argument that he was running for the movement too, sure. I hope it doesn't turn out to just be a vanity thing. And I don't think it would be because guy's rich. He doesn't have to work the rest of his life. It could just be a vanity thing, but he didn't run it like a vanity campaign, you know? He didn't run it like it was a joke. He was serious. He was on it. Funny how Roaming Millennial and Charlie Kirk used to be normies a couple of years ago. Yeah, it happens. I mean, you see people get some fame and they got to keep getting that fame. Roaming less so than Kirk, because Kirk had a lot more fame that came out of everything, and maybe that's part of it. But just seeing, God, that guy's a retard. I never liked Charlie Kirk. I've made fun of him since he came on the scene. The only time I've really defended him is when Fuentes was running around asking him how getting butt fucked is conservative, which was a really weird. I honestly think Nick was just looking for an excuse to take it in the bottom because he was having trouble justifying it to himself. So he was asking Charlie, "Hey, how do you deal with it?" But this was Vivek start to be known to the worldwide. He has potential, but who knows how genuine he is. I never saw. There are tons of people who question Vivek all along, and we've seen it over. Now he's a snake. He's in hiding. There's never been an indication that he was, other than like the stupid stuff which we talked about just again last night with he's the Soros guy. Yeah, he's the Soros guy because he took a grant to go to college when he was, what, 20, something like that, from George Soros's from a fund run by George Soros's brother. It's not like he'd ever gone out there campaigning for George Soros or pushing George Soros talking points. Vivek was questioned because he dared run against Donald Trump. Let's just be honest about that. That was Vivek's crime to a lot of people who don't think he might have been genuine. So the movement came before the presidential run. I've been reading Vivek's work, and 2 candidates left on top 2. His warnings to heart. I'm still not understanding what you mean by left on top. You and another YouTuber, Anomaly, share a lot in common. The difference between me and Anomaly, I know who Anomaly is that Anomaly is a how do I want to put this? He is somebody that I would say borders on conspiracy theory. I like a lot of what Anomaly says, and then he keeps talking. Remember when Roaming did a video with Martha Stewart? No. I don't dislike Anomaly altogether. I just think that there's times that you walk up to a line and then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to jump across it. He's got some kooky theories. I used to follow him on Twitter, and I used to watch some of what he did on YouTube. And I don't even remember what it was, but somewhere along the line, it was just like, you're so close to being a good advocate for your stuff, but you just go too far. You go too far. And it's one thing to goof and, wonder if whether or not conspiracy theories might be real. It's a whole nother one to actually believe that Art Bell believed in all the stuff he believed in. Didn't you have Roaming on sometime? I've had Roaming on the show twice, and I was I ever on hers? I mean, I was for the vegan debate, but I don't remember if we ever spoke on hers where it was just me and her talking. I think it was just over here. She's been on at least twice. Roaming Millennial, Lauren Chen. She goes by Lauren Chen now. She was, when she first comes onto the scene, her name's Roaming Millennial. She blows up because, what the fuck is her name? All I can think is Stewie Griffin, because that's what Jack always calls her. Lacey Green. Lacey Green issued a copyright strike against Roaming Millennial, Lauren Chen, for using her picture in a thumbnail that was about her. And yeah, that's where Roaming really blew up. And yeah, I like Roaming. I think she's going a little too hard on the Christian side lately. She was part of the how dare those whores dress like that for a calendar crowd. she's just gone a little too far on the whole Christianity thing, which, look, if she's Christian, by all means, but as I've always said, if you can't give me a reason that doesn't involve God, then we shouldn't be arguing, because why would we? Because I'm not going to convince you your God is wrong, am I? And I'm not even going to try, unless you're trying to push something on me on an actual legal standard. She seems less depressed now. Who? Are you talking about roaming? I feel like roaming actually seems a lot more down lately. And I just attributed to that to being a mom. She's got a lot more to worry about than she used to. That'll kick you right in the ass. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on tonight? Nah. Really nothing. So we can just chat for the evening. Sorry, I meant Milo Stewart. Oh, I haven't checked in on Milo Stewart in a long time. Is Milo still on the internet? Milo needed to be in an insane asylum. Milo needed an actual padded room. That was one. I don't know who touched her as a child, and I'm not joking there. I honestly believe something horrible happened to her as a child to lead her to everything that she went through publicly online. She was not happy after going corporate. Or who? Milo went. We'll have to talk about this some other time. Oh, never mind. I'm having two different conversations there. All right. Roaming wasn't happy after going corporate. I think Roaming looked a lot happier back when she was on the Blaze. I think what really happened with Roaming is the mom thing. If you pay attention to her timeline and you look at how happy and peppy she was back in the beginning, and then you look at her now, where I watched her video just the other day. What fucking video was that? I don't remember. I watched one of her videos the other day. I was taken off guard because it was her picture, but that wasn't her channel name. It wasn't Lauren Chen anymore. It's now whatever the name of her show is, with Lauren Chen as the title name. And I watched it, and she seemed subdued. And again, I don't chalk that up to any that's not like the religious thing or anything like that, in my opinion. That's just, she's got a young kid. You guys ever raise a kid? That'll beat the life right out of you, especially when they're little, man. Until they can start helping you, like feeding themselves and shit, wiping their own ass. That takes a lot out of you. Oh, man. Did you see Ukraine wanting peace talks in Switzerland? I did not. Is that Zelensky, or is that reports from there? Fetterman might be forming a right-wing militia at this point. I haven't even paid attention to Fetterman since he. What was the last thing where he kind of blew up? Where he pissed off the left? I don't remember what it was, but ever since, that's been months now. I look at Fetterman the same way I've always looked at him. The guy probably shouldn't be in Congress. He definitely shouldn't be in Congress. Taking care of a baby is the easiest job in the world, provided you have nothing else to do. There you go. Yeah. Oh, man. He told Africa to sit this one out. Who? Fetterman said that? Trying to run a channel and take care of a kid, probably a lot for her. Yeah, again, the channel part of it, it's the kid. It really is. Running a channel, I do wonder, because I don't know what her husband does. I wonder how much of their income is based on what she does. And anytime you see your numbers and stuff go down, that starts to weigh on you, especially now that you have a baby. Look at somebody like Mundane Matt, right? Mundane Matt, his fall from grace is not just because he was a fat retard. He goes out there and he buys this brand new home. Well, okay, it's brand new to him. I don't know if it was just built. He buys this expensive home. He's got his woman pregnant. And then his views start to drop off. Then his views start going down. And he panicked. He just panicked because he had a lot on his fucking plate. So it happens to a lot of people in these spaces. I'm lucky in that this, while you guys are, you help me eat, Lady Monkey works. That's the majority of our income. So if this went away tomorrow, I really would have to like just eat ramen, but I'd be okay. A lot of these creators, especially the younger ones, this is their only job. And without being able to keep that steady income coming in, it's rough. And so many of them have tried to change up what they do, right? I'm so sorry. I keep muting because I'm wheezing like hell over here. Still not all back to good, guys. But they change up what they're doing to try to get a bigger audience or to capture the new stuff that's going on instead of just sticking with what worked, because you see just a little bit of a decline, and instead of just like maybe being a little more interesting, throwing in a few more jokes or something. Lauren is working with Blaze again. Is she? Is that why the channel name went back up? That would explain a lot. And explain why she looks so sad. Not that the Blaze is a bad thing, you guys. I'm not a subscriber or anything. And I don't dislike some of their people. I just think it's kind of boring. Some of their best people are boring as fuck. Like, ugh. I've tried watching, because I used to subscribe to Crowder when he was over there, and so I could watch the other stuff. And I would be like, oh, I'm bored. Let's see what else is on here. And I never made it through a full video because the people were just boring as shit. Sometimes you need to learn that it's okay. All right, this is an hour-long show. We only have 45 minutes worth of shit to talk about. Maybe we should just shut it off at 45 minutes. A lot of them just repeat shit over and over and over again. Having a baby who's led to Ethan Ralph's fall. Oh my God. He's in it again. He was, his life is just in a downward spiral. I've been keeping a little bit of an eye on what that idiot's been up to lately. And it's just more of the same. That guy is a fucking disaster. Would think a second channel for different stuff would be better. The problem with the different channel for second channel for different stuff. Yeah, you're right. It's a way to go. The problem is trying to keep up both of them. And then if your first or your second one doesn't do as well as the first, which I don't know if any second channel has ever done as well as the first. It then becomes a matter of priority. Well, am I going to do that? And then you end up letting the second one fall away, because obviously if the majority of people are watching the first one, that's where your attention is going to go. But I just think it's better to be kind of random to begin with. Nobody tunes into my show expecting that we're only ever going to talk about politics, because if you do, you haven't paid attention for 7 fucking years. A lot of it's politics, a lot of it's the culture war, but we also talk about football and movies and not movies in the culture war sense, but just whether or not this movie's good or bad, that kind of stuff. We have varied interests around here. And I do think creators would be a lot better off if they did that. The problem is most creators get into this with a specific thing. Like, I can talk about politics. I'll go talk about politics, but they're not actually political people. I'm a political person. I like politics. So while I may even get burned out from it from time to time, it's only for a day or two, right? It's only for a minor refresh. And then I'm right back into it because I love politics. I just love politics. Most of my friends that I met when I first started this, they've almost all gotten out of politics because they were jumping on, because while they did think, maybe culture war stuff, or at the time anti-SJW stuff, was important to talk about, and it was funny to talk about, but they did it because like this is where the money is. Then this is before money, but this is where the audience is. And if you don't have that passion, then you're not going to be able to keep it up. I'm failing to think of many who have, honestly. Monkey streams are just a random chain of things thrown together that wander off into the weeds after a few minutes, and it amuses us all. Well, I'm glad it keeps you entertained. Do you remember that video inspired Bearing to profile you, so to speak? That's how I found you. Yeah, I know what video you're talking about. It was Christy Winters. Was it Christy or was it Mike? One of those two retards had come out with a video about Bearing and what a horrible person he is. And I made a defense video of him. And I told him in the comments, because he responded to their video, and I told him, like, I know you don't need my defense, but here's a video I made about it. And he liked it and shouted, or I don't even think I linked the video. I just mentioned that I had made a video about it. And I will never be able to repay him for that kindness. Never Nikki. That's right. Never Nikki. Fuck that bitch. Has Nikki come out and said anything? You know what? I got so interested in whether Vivek did, I forgot to even look at what the others have said about it. Well, DeSantis, we already know what he's been saying. Thank you, Iowa. You're faithful, patriotic, hardworking, and I'm grateful to each of you. Now it's on to New Hampshire, where this campaign is the last best hope of stopping the Trump-Biden rematch that no one wants. We offer America a better choice. Wow. That is one delusional lady. That is one delusional lady. Let's see. What does she have to say?
We have had an amazing 11 months here in the Hawkeye State.
You know, when she was off campaigning in New Hampshire, where she really wants to run.
I came to Iowa early and often, and I kept coming back, even though the cold weather is brutal.
I just want to throw this on the screen while she's talking. Third place.
For the time that we had.
It makes it sound like they died. You fuckers all died.
At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running. I was at 2% in the polls. But tonight, Iowa did what Iowa always does so well. The pundits will analyze the results from every angle.
Uh-huh.
We get that.
But what is Iowa?
But when you look at how we're doing in New Hampshire, in South Carolina, and beyond.
Okay, she said Iowa does what Iowa always does. Didn't Nikki say that New Hampshire corrects the mistakes of Iowa? I'm paraphrasing it, but right? Iowa votes first, then New Hampshire corrects it, is what she said. I'm not wrong on that. But now she's like, go Iowa. It was a joke. It was a joke, you. Thank you, Cryptic. Nikki's like a bad case of herpes. Bitch just keeps coming back. You're not wrong. Don't worry. There's a mRNA vaccination coming. And thank you, Keldrick. Nah, Nikki, I want to see Trump-Biden match that we never got in the first place. I want to see Trump beat an old man with a metaphorical stick. Yes. I just love how it's such a fake smile, Nikki. You got trounced. You got third place. You got third place. Your victory speeches maybe will do better in the next state. In the next two states, we'll actually do okay. That's not. She did almost get second. She almost got second, but in a race where the media's been totally on her side, almost second is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that she lost the way she did.
I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race.
Hang on, I got to check the results again. Donald Trump is in first. DeSantis is in second. Damn it. What? What the hell you mean? What the hell you mean they made it a two-person race? You came in third. Okay, Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Evolved Potato. So if they made it a two-person race and you finished third, uh, uh, I don't even know how to deal with that. I really don't. All right, let's go back to Crazy Lady. Maybe what she meant is she narrowed it down to which of the two guys she was going to be banging tonight.
Tonight, I will be back in the great state of New Hampshire. And the question before Americans is now very clear. Do you want more of the same? Or do you want a new generation of conservative leadership?
Cryptic, thank you. Can I amend it to AIDS? It's more infectious. There you go. And deadly. I get it. She's trying to pump herself up and all. You came in third. You said it was now a two-man race, which I mean technically it is a two-man race now because there's two men and her because Vivek dropped out. But I do not understand. It's one thing to be like, this is almost a Howard Dean moment, remember? And then on the Nevada, rah, that fucking weird thing. I hate to use the term because it's been so overused, but this is like a severe amount of cope. This is a really severe amount of cope here. We're like, you guys you made it a two-person race, and now I'm gonna be in New Hampshire. All right, let me help you out. You should just be thanking the people of Iowa here. You can go, hey, we're moving on to Iowa next, or to New Hampshire next, you guys. That's where we're headed next. But I want to thank you guys for what you did for me. But she's never been in it for Iowa. Nikki is trying something. It's a big thing that's done in politics and these kind of things. Everybody pays so much attention to Iowa that you can almost skip it. You don't, not entirely, because you still have to have some kind of showing there. But it's much easier to win in New Hampshire because it's a much smaller state. When's the last time a Republican won New Hampshire? I don't know. But when it comes to the primary, it's still important. And again, it's not because New Hampshire is a big state. It's not because the nation votes with New Hampshire. It's because it's a small state where it's easy to get your name out there. It's easy to win that state. And then if you win that state, money opens up. People who are like, I can kind of see why you'd be a good candidate, but you can't win. So why would I give you money? You go to New Hampshire and you get those people to open up their wallets. Frosted, thank you so much. Nikki was the first candidate to ask, who do you got to... Damn it, I should have read this before I started reading it. Nikki was the first candidate to ask, who do you got to fuck to get some more votes? Or as a serious question. Yes, indeed. She's all about the who do you got to fuck. I just don't understand this at all. This makes no sense. Look at that self-satisfied smile. You don't believe what you're saying. Oh my God, really?
I voted for Donald Trump twice. I was proud to serve in his administration. But when I say more of the same, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, because right now he's not the president. If you mean, do I want more of the same of 2019? Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. We don't count 2020 because of, the coronavirus and all that. But if we're talking about how well the country was running in 2019, other than the ridiculous spending that had already happened, yeah, I'm on board. You know what we meant. Yeah, you're trying to use stupid language to be like, the country sucks right now and it's Donald Trump's fault. Even though he hasn't been president for 3 years.
It's both Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
See, there it is. There it is.
They have more in
Did you hear those idiots? Yep.
common than you think. 70% of Americans don't want another Trump-Biden rematch.
Well, they couldn't have another Trump-Biden rematch, honey. They could have another Trump-Biden match, or they could have a Trump-Biden rematch, but they haven't run against each other twice yet, so they can't have another rematch. Not to be linguistically correct or anything.
A majority disapprove of both of them. Trump and Biden are both about 80 years old.
Is she really going after the old people now? You fucking old people. Trump and Biden are similar in age, but they are worlds apart in what that age means.
Trump and Biden both put our country trillions of dollars deeper in debt, and our kids will never forgive them for it.
I mean, so is every president since Ronald Reagan, really. And if you're looking at, I'm not excusing it, don't get me wrong, guys, because it's ridiculous, the spending, but she's trying to paint these two together, and they are worlds apart on this. They really are. Trump did spend way too much. Absolutely. Say that about Ronald Reagan. I dare you. I dare you to say that. Say it about George Bush.
Trump and Biden both lack a vision for our country's future because both are consumed by the past.
Sweetheart, the only parts of your campaign that resonate is shit you stole from Trump. I don't remember you being out there real loud and proud about shutting down the border. That's a Trump thing that you've taken. I guess that's the past, huh? Have I mentioned how much I hate this woman?
By investigations, by vendettas, by grievances.
Oh, let's talk about that for a minute, because that's her new thing. This is something she unveiled, I think, yesterday. This vendetta thing. We won't run the government by vendetta. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, honey, it's hard to suggest that Trump ran the government by vendetta when he gets so much crap for not prosecuting Hillary. I mean, if you're going to say it was vendetta run, I mean, why'd he fuck that part up?
America deserves better.
Than you, yeah. So wait, let's just stop there for a second. Let's entertain this nonsense, right? America deserves better. These guys are running in the past and on vendettas, and okay. Do you have a problem with anything that's happened, Nikki? I mean, for example, you just told me the reason I should vote for you is because of how much money Trump spent, which I'm fairly certain was 3 years ago, at least, right? You can't have it both ways and be like, we can't look at the past. Did you see the past? But more important, there are things that need to be fixed. We should be paying attention to the fact that the Biden administration has weaponized the government, not just against the former president of the United States, current front runner for the GOP, but against the American people. What are we supposed to do? Just be like, yeah, all that stuff happened before. Today's a fresh slate. Pay no attention to the fact that the same people are in charge who did all that shit. You fucking retard. Can I just mention how female that crowd sounds? No, and this isn't a mean thing against women, other than the fact that only women would fall for this stupid shit. Although, remember, the CBS poll showed us men like her more than women do. That's a very high-pitched crowd right there. It's her turn. Yep, that's all bitches.
We deserve
Man, she's got the makeup caked on really hard tonight. It's bothering me.
a new direction under new conservative leadership.
Nikki, where are your bright, innovative ideas that you didn't just pick up from somebody else? That's the nature of politics. We need bright new leadership who's going to tell you the same stuff that we told you back in the 90s.
We deserve a president who will focus on the needs of our people, not on themselves.
Nikki, Donald Trump's a billionaire who could have lived out the rest of his life in comfort without anybody paying any fucking attention to him, without having 91 counts against him. You say whatever you want about Donald Trump, but the notion that he's just a selfish man is retarded. Trump lost money when he was no. He did it all for himself. He's coming off this television show that made him massively more popular than he'd ever been. He just did this all for him. God, see, Nikki, this is why nobody likes you. Evolve Potato, thank you. Speaking about not prosecuting Hillary, I know someone that thinks that Trump's political prosecution is okay because Trump was chanting lock her up, but never actually did anything against her because somehow comparable. Yeah. Look, when you're talking with lefties, analogies will never work because they're just retarded.
A president who will
kind of like a female Romney. She's more like a female Kerry. I mean, look, she even looks like him.
Build our economy, close our border, and stand up to our enemies.
If she says China, I might actually die. I got to go back. Hang on. Wait.
Not on themselves.
Okay. Wait.
A president who will rebuild our economy, close our border, and stand up to our enemies.
Rebuild our economy. Okay, you can't give Trump credit for that one because the economy was moving along pretty decent when he takes over, and he just fueled it up more. So it's hard to say if he could rebuild an economy. Fair. Build a wall. Well, Trump was doing that. He rebuilt quite a bit of it, and even more would have been built if Biden hadn't literally stopped it day one. And stand up to our enemies. Fuck you. Do we have to go over the trade war with China? He's going to cause nuclear war because he told North Korea to get fucked. And do we really need to talk about that stuff? Don't worry, guys. She's gonna be a new leader by trying to mimic Trump.
Most importantly, we deserve a president who will stop our self-loathing, end division and fear.
You know, guys, I pointed out repeatedly that one of Trump's greatest strengths was that he pulled a Ronald Reagan from 1980, in that he gave people permission to be proud of America again. And she's, we need one that's going to be like, it's okay. Fuck you.
And make America strong and proud.
She almost said, make America great again.
Our campaign is the last best hope of stopping the
Did she really just pull last best hope?
Trump-Biden nightmare. But it's more than that. Republicans have lost the popular vote in 7 of the last 8 presidential elections. That's nothing to be proud of. We
I mean,
should want to earn the support of a majority of Americans.
it's nice if you can win the majority of Americans, but when you have states like California and New York, which are automatically going to go Democrat no matter who they run, they could literally run Jeffrey Epstein and be like, well, he's a Democrat, we're going to vote for him. Winning the popular vote isn't the same as it used to be. It's just not. It's why the system is set up the way it is. What we should have is a president who wins the majority of states, sweetheart. Have somebody sit down and read the Constitution to you. Have them put it right on your back while you guys are in that doggy style position and just read it to you.
All the evidence says that if it's a Trump-Biden rematch, it's going to be another toss-up election.
No, it's not what all the evidence says. That's what polls that you like because they pump you up. That's what they say. We talked about one of those last night.
It could go either way. We could have more disputes over election interference, and Joe Biden could win again. With Kamala Harris waiting in the wings.
You mean Kamala Haley waiting in the wings there? Yeah, we can't have that.
Lord help us if that happens. And then look at what happens when I go head to head against Biden.
You gonna bring up that poll? Is she gonna bring up the poll we just ripped apart last night? The one where they had to change how they do polling to make it look like she was better off than Trump or DeSantis? Please do it. The CBS YouGov poll. Come on.
We win in a landslide. It's not even close.
She is. She's talking about that poll, the 46 to what she had, the 48 to 56. Or something like that. Whatever it was, 40. Now I have to go back. Did they actually go over 100 for that?
That means no recounts, no lawsuits.
Oh, no, it was only 53. It was 53 is what she had to 47/8.
And no doubts. It means no more Chuck Schumer leading the Senate.
What? Her winning means Chuck Schumer is going to lose the Senate. All right. I mean, I guess you can say people would coast on your coattails.
No more endless votes for House Speaker because we'll have a huge House majority.
What? No more. What? No more endless votes for House Speaker because we'll have a big majority. Sweetheart, all you need is a majority of 1. That's it. Do you hear the people cheering along with this retard? Nothing she just said was even sensical. It was dumb as shit. Chuck Schumer won't be the guy in the Senate, and there won't be any votes for House Speaker.
We'll term limit the do-nothing Washington politicians. We'll rebuild our economy and secure our border. No more excuses.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm in awe of the stupidity coming from this woman.
Well, I mean, it must be a day ending in Y then.
Yeah, but she's going to new heights, man.
Without her, I mean, we're not going to have. We're going to lose everything, Monkey. There'll be no House of Representatives. It's just going to be all Democrats.
She just told us that the House won't have speaker votes because she's going to win.
Yeah, because there'll be such a sweeping majority. I mean, that's just the power of Nikki.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm really tired. I fell asleep. Otherwise, I'd have been here.
I'm exhausted. I really am. And if it wasn't for this, I probably would be asleep right now. All right, back to I almost said Vivek, and now I feel really bad.
Oh, wrong Hindu.
Back to this Vixen. There we go. I make the V work.
And make no mistake,
She's smiling right now because there's a guy under that podium, Police Academy style, who's not her husband.
Jeez. Nice
we
reference.
will
Thank you.
restore our national pride. We are blessed to live in America, and it's time that we remember that. And as we head to New Hampshire,
There was no clapping for we're blessed to live in America, and we should remember that.
Well, these are Haley supporters. They're probably communists. So
Jesus Christ.
I have one.
And what is it with all the people in Iowa cheering for New Hampshire? That
well,
is
they're
so
going to
weird.
correct it.
One more thing to say.
Uh-huh.
Underestimate me, because that's always fun.
I just want to check. No, I think I estimated you about as proper as possible. It's all her staff. It's a lot of women screaming. That's all I know.
Well, women scream a lot. They tend to make noises and say things that I don't listen to. So
Just reminded me of a line from Community. I don't listen to women because they don't talk to me. It's one of my favorite lines of the show.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Did you guys hear that Australia is getting another one of your food chains? We're receiving Mr. Charles Entertainment cheese. Oh, Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese? Awesome.
Nice.
Chuck E. Cheese is fun.
Yeah, you have to take kids with
I
you,
don't
though.
hate their pizza, but you don't go to Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza. You go there for all the games and stuff.
Yeah, it's an experience more than anything else. For the creepy animatronics and the all the whole package there. It's the pizza's okay. It's better than Papa John's.
You take your kids there to scare the shit out of them with the giant rat walking around.
Yeah, and the animatronics that will haunt them and make them think of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Is that really the end, or they're just gonna let her cheer?
I love you, Iowa, but we're on to New Hampshire.
Where we're gonna lose again? All right.
Oh
so
no! Remember, they're going to fix it in New Hampshire.
There's Nikki Haley's speech. Did Ron give one? I don't know if Ron spoke. Last I knew, he was still pissy about the whole thing.
Why?
Because I'm with them on this. I think that they fucked it up when they announced it before the voting was done.
Oh.
Yeah, that was fucked up, but still.
Well, did Trump win this in like a pretty big landslide?
Yeah. What the fuck? Hang on. Sorry, I'm bringing up DeSantis's speech. Everybody but him is talking. There we go. Some guy right next to the cameras yelling, "Yay!" God, I fucking hate people. All right, let's see what Ronnie had to say here tonight. Shit, I'm going to get in trouble now. Nothing but a good time. Really, Ron? Really? Look, I like Ron DeSantis fine enough, but that is probably the worst branding ever.
Well, his whole thing has been kind of a clusterfuck since the beginning, so.
Ron, you're not an exciting guy. You're just not.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you. Thanks so much. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at us.
They're chanting Ron before he's even had a chance to speak. Shut up.
Yeah.
God, I hate people. Tell him to shut up.
We love you too. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at us. They spent almost $50 million attacking us. No one's faced that much all the way just through Iowa. The media was against us. They were writing our obituary months ago. They even called the election before people even got a chance to vote.
Well, let's check in with that again. They called it right. You lost by 30%, dude. It's 29.8%, but you lost by 30%. The biggest blowout in Iowa before this in the Republican primary was 12.5. More than doubled that. They were wrong to call it before, but they were right in the call. It didn't change it. 30% of the Republican voters did not go home because NBC and ABC and Fox and the AP came out and said Trump won. I'm just looking for a little bit of honesty and intelligence. I don't think that's too much to ask. You're running for president, for fuck's sake. And all you're doing right now, they said we were good. They threw everything at us, and it worked. You got Nikki almost even with you, man. Jesus.
But they were just so excited about the fact that they were predicting that we wouldn't be able to get our ticket punched here out of Iowa. But I can tell you, because
what?
They validate parking in Iowa.
They were just so happy to be punching the ticket. What? Okay, Jay, all seriousness, do you know what he was trying to say?
Nope, no fucking clue. I think they validate parking is all. Maybe because he parked at all those handicap spots and was throwing cripples and Asians out of his gatherings. You're all taller than me.
I've often been accused of being a DeSantis supporter, and just a Trump hater and all that. I just want to point that out before I say this. Is he drunk?
Well, I mean, would you blame him if he was?
No, I wouldn't. If I was him, I'd be drunk as shit right now. And then coming out to nothing but a good time would have made sense.
Yeah.
But I literally have no idea what the fuck he's trying to say there.
Well, he came in second, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He comes in second. He's 2 points ahead of Nikki, which is much better than people thought he was going to do, especially if you looked at the polls at the end. So he did well for himself. But what the fuck is he talking about? They were so. Hang on, I want to hear that again.
That we wouldn't be able to get our ticket punched here out of Iowa. But I can tell you, because of your support, in spite of all of that they threw at us,
I came in second.
Everyone against us
came in second.
We've got our ticket punched out of Iowa.
Who's punching Ron?
Maybe he's talking about Dr. Scholl's.
Seriously, you might be right about the validated parking here.
Yeah, I don't know what else he could it's weird phraseology. Maybe it's a colloquialism out of Florida or something. I don't fucking know. Oh, thank you, Alan, who says, hello, my friend. Hey, Alan, thank you for that generous donation. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well.
Now, look, maybe what he's getting at is that he beat Haley. And despite them trying to knock him down with Haley, he still prevailed. In which case, I guess he has kind of a point. But you got doubled up on, man. The winner had more than twice what you have. That's not getting your ticket punched. That's getting your lights punched out.
Yeah, that's getting your balls punched.
All right. Who positioned this camera? God, I hate people.
I don't see a camera.
It sucks walking in heels.
I can't see anything. I just got the poll up.
Oh, sorry.
A basic decency. We've got hardworking people, God-fearing people, patriotic.
I've been going back and forth between those, sometimes letting the audio play. So if that does happen, yeah, let me know. Sorry about that.
I don't care.
You just don't see it every day because of all the nonsense that gets spewed out there by the media, by social media, all this other stuff. People want to have hope for this country's future. And
you're doing what Haley did. Yes, people want to have hope for this country's future, but you're running against Donald Trump, who literally got shit from the left for saying we should make America great again. For the guy who brought hope back. It's great to bring that up, but you're running against the guy who that's his talking point. You actually have people in Congress who use the initials of Make America Great Again as some kind of horrible thing over and over and over. Stop running against Haley, okay? That's your biggest problem, Ron.
that's what we represent. We represent a chance to reverse the madness that we've seen in this country, to reverse the decline of this country, and to give this country a new birth of freedom and a
and again, Ron, I don't dislike Ron like some people do, Jack. I think, and I even said this on Twitter earlier, what the Trump people have done to DeSantis is a disservice to Republicans. This is one of Trump's best lieutenants. When it comes to the Make America Great Again, he's one of their best lieutenants fighting against the woke bullshit, one of their best lieutenants. And they've just utterly destroyed this man.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem is his campaign's been a shit show and his supporters are a bunch of anti-Trumpers.
Well, here's the issue is that Ron, look, I think he had to run this time because there's lots he should have waited till 2028. He'd have been out of politics for at least a year at that point. This was the do or die moment. And as soon as Trump entered the race, it was die. Yeah. Because you're trying to out Trump.
Yeah, that's an uphill battle.
Yes, Geezer, what Trump people did. Absolutely what Trump people did. I have people now telling me that Ron DeSantis is a rhino. I have people telling me how disloyal he is.
Oh, it's both sides on this.
Oh, yeah, no.
They're both and shooting each other's foots.
Yeah, I've gone after the DeSantis people too, but when you're talking about DeSantis himself and what's been done to him, yes. He has bad campaign people. All right, that's fine, but is he bad? And the answer from a lot of Trump supporters, yes, he's horrible.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, because they know that he was like the main competition. And instead of embracing saying, okay, well, if Trump can't win, this is our guy. Mm-hmm. They just tore him down. And that is the exact wrong way to do this. And his people were doing the exact opposite.
Oh,
saying, well, Trump's a has-been and he's just going to destroy the country, blah, blah, blah.
If Ron runs this the way that Vivek did, refusing to attack Trump, especially in ways that were unfair, and in fairness to Ron, it wasn't him; it was his surrogates.
Yeah.
If he'd done it the way Vivek does, Nikki never has a chance in this.
Yep.
Nikki doesn't poll above 10.
Yep. But they can't stop shooting each other's feet.
Yep.
And undercutting their own base of voters. Do you really think that after all of this, that if Ron DeSantis is the candidate, any Trump voter is going to vote for him?
No.
They're going to stay home because they're going to be like, look, this guy hates our candidate.
How can you even support him in 2028 if he runs again and he's your best chance? Let's say it's him versus Haley round 2 in 2028. How do you support Ron with everything you've said about him?
Restoration of sanity. That's what we are going to do.
Okay, let me grab a couple of
please do
labs here. Thank you, Frosted. If I could use an old analogy, tonight Nikki and Ron were a cancer-infested snake coming through the toilet, while Trump was the guy with the rocket launcher riding through the wall on a dirt bike. That is very accurate, Frosted, and I like your analogy. I think it works really well, and it's a 1987 reference that all of you should know.
Geezer, I'm just going to paraphrase what you said here. He says he's mad because Ron ran for governor. Florida law had to be changed to allow him to run for president. And he's upset about that. And that's fine. But other than that, is he the evil that we're being told he is by most Trump supporters? Because it's not just that he has different ideas, because he really doesn't. He's mostly a Trump clone.
Yeah.
He's kind of the more milquetoast version of Trump is all he is.
He's the more refined politician version of Trump.
Yes.
So it's not that I don't like Ron. I would vote for him, but I like Trump better, and I like Vivek a lot better. I just don't think Trump. I just don't think DeSantis ran a good campaign. His people made all the wrong moves, and going after Trump was the key one. When he should have been winning them over, win the voters over to your side, and both Trump and DeSantis made that critical error.
And again, it's mostly been Trump has taken it. Even for Trump, he's taken a few shots at people. But if you look at how Trump has run the campaign, this isn't like 2016 where he just fucking decimated people.
Oh yeah. He's really held back.
He has. And I honestly believe this goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, Jack, is that this is the New York politician in Trump. He knows he's got to smack these people down because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But with Haley, with DeSantis, and even with Vivek, I mean, these are people that he likes. He hired Nikki Haley. He promoted Ron DeSantis until DeSantis runs against him. And Vivek was basically a giant cheerleader for Trump. He likes these people, but he still has to beat them. So he still went after, but he did nothing like he did to Rubio or to Jeb Bush or to Ted Cruz.
Yeah. Oh, he was brutal.
He was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
I know they understood that largely because Ted Cruz still supported Trump overall.
Yeah.
I don't think Jeb Bush did because he's probably crying right now that he never got to be president. But the way he just destroyed them is nothing like what's going on. So, yeah, I think you're right. Oh, thank you, Brett Michaels. Speaking of nothing but a good time, my niece heard poison and started calling her dad a liar. You said cell phones weren't really a big thing, but how is this guy? Sorry about the shape I'm in. I just lock my phone every now and then. It's that's a mystery for the ages, Brett. But thank you.
So we have our marching orders. Our marching orders are to do all we can to preserve what George Washington called the sacred fire of liberty.
Oh, Ron. All right, let's just say, for argument's sake, Jack, right? All of the other votes, besides the ones that went to Trump, go to Ron DeSantis. All of them. Nikki's, Vivek's, the couple that Asa got, they all go to him. Even the 35 that went to Christie last we saw. You still lose.
What?
Trump had over 50% in this race. So it doesn't matter how many people are in it. Over 50%, he won. Your marching orders would actually be go home. Yes, exactly, Bullwinkle. Would be go home. Especially when half of what was remaining went to Nikki. I don't think you should. I think you should go out there and keep campaigning until you decide that there's no campaign left to do. It's just the rhetoric. I get tired of it. We got our marching orders. The marching orders read, go home. What are you talking? Maybe what happened is when they punched that ticket, it was over top the part that said "go home," so he couldn't read it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility.
Fuck, man.
The same fire that burned in Philadelphia in 1776 when our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence. The same sacred fire of liberty that burned at a cemetery in Gettysburg when our first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, pledged our nation to a new birth of freedom. The same sacred fire of liberty.
Is Ron going to war?
Maybe.
That was on the beaches of Normandy in 1944 when our band of brothers stormed those shores and helped free the world. The same sacred fire of liberty that was at the Berlin Wall in 1987 when Ronald Reagan stood there and said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." This is
how many more Republicans are you going to point at and be like, "That's me"?
Right?
Our responsibility to carry this torch and to preserve this sacred fire of liberty. Don't run away from this responsibility. We welcome this responsibility.
Oh, man. I thought Nikki's was bad. He's just giving a stump campaign speech.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. This actually hurts.
We thank you for your effort. We thank you for your support. You helped us get a ticket punched out of the Hawkeyes.
He's talking about punching a lot of tickets. Did he go to a hockey game or something?
I don't know, man. Maybe he got some froyo and he got that 10th one. Now he gets one free and he's really excited about it.
Oh.
I don't fucking know what this guy's going on about. Wow, this is a bad speech. Who wrote this? Okay, Ron. Lots have been said, and I've actually defended your campaign. But whoever wrote this speech should be fired. This is bad. This is just a bad speech.
State, we have a lot of work to do, but I can tell you this, as the next president of the United States, I am going to get the job done for this country. I am not going to make any excuses, and I guarantee you this, I will not let you down. Thank you all. God bless you.
I mean, if it was just kind of a little stump speech he was giving at like CPAC or something, it wouldn't be bad. But as the concession speech for Iowa, that was just really bad.
I don't think he thinks this is a concession speech.
Look, you beat Nikki, okay? And that's what you needed to do. So good on you. But that's just to stay in a race that you're the odds are like 99-1 that you have a chance of actually being president, Ron. So yeah, we trounced Nikki, but the problem is Nikki's still in the race. And for you to even have a slight competitive chance here, it needs to just be you and Trump. And all that would do, Jack, if it's just the two of them, DeSantis maybe gets 30%. Maybe 35. Vivek's people are all going to Trump. That's a given.
Yeah.
Even some of the Haley supporters would be going to Trump. So while I like Ron and I keep campaigning, dude, do you? It just came off as delusional. Nikki, thank you. God damn it. Nikki Haley, thank you so very much for the donation. The ticket he's getting punched are for my services. 10th intern nuts for free.
Ew.
Not going to make any excuses. What was at the beginning of the speech, though? Yeah, and I mean, with the way he worded it, he didn't really use it as an excuse. He tried to make it that he overcame all of that shit. The problem is he didn't overcome it all. He came in second, a distant second, and only beat Haley by 2.
Second place is the first loser.
The only way anybody has a chance against Trump in the Republican primary is if it's head to head. That's it. As long as Haley and Ron are both there, all they're doing is cannibalizing the other votes.
Yeah, they're just splitting the votes between them.
Yep. And look, again, anything can happen in politics. But what are you going to bring out against Trump right now, Jack? That's going to make his supporters be like, "Ooh, maybe not Trump."
Unless Trump gets convicted and goes to prison, even then, I don't think you're going to.
What happens?
Draw that much.
What happens if somebody's elected president after they've been convicted of a crime like that? Can they pardon themselves from prison?
Nobody knows. There's lots of split decisions on that.
Because there's nothing in the Constitution that keeps a felon from running.
Yeah. Felons have run before. There was a guy that ran against Woodrow Wilson from jail that Woodrow Wilson had put in jail for treason because he didn't like some stuff that he did. Because he was campaigning against him.
Yeah, and Bass asked what happened to Vivek. Vivek suspended his campaign and is going out he's going to meet with Trump tomorrow in New Hampshire.
I hope to God he's VP. But I know it's not realistic, but don't take my dreams from me.
I'm still not for Vivek. I want Vivek to go run your state for a while.
I do too. I would love to see him run for governor. I would vote for him in a second.
I think that would give him a lot of real world experience as there is a big difference between leading a company and leading a state or the country. And I think it's one of the things that hurt Trump is that he didn't have that other experience.
Yeah.
In business, like in his business, he basically hires everybody and he comes into DC and didn't know a lot of the people that he took recommendations for. And like, oh, well, these people say he's a nice guy. And he wasn't realizing he was dealing with snakes in the people who were making the recommendations.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad reality that you need some kind of experience with those people. And it's what hurt Trump so bad is that he comes in and the neocons are still in charge at the time. And they're like, here's all the people you should John Bolton, great guy. And while there's things I like about Bolton, mostly Bolton is just a guy who wants to blow up other people.
Yeah, he really does like explosions.
He does, yeah. It's how you end up with military commanders who go against the direct orders of the president, who moved people around in Syria instead of pulling them out as they were ordered to.
Yep. It's still treason.
Yeah, so I really want Ramaswamy to get, a lot more experience with the people. And maybe as VP, he gets a little of that, but not at the same thing because there's not the same stresses on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As VP, you're a figurehead. You're waiting for the big guy to die and praying it doesn't happen because you're enjoying your cushy job. So I really do hope he goes and runs for governor instead of being VP or worse, Secretary of State or Chief of Staff. He'd be a great Chief of Staff for Donald Trump, but that's not a stepping stone. Even people who've been Chief of Staff who go on to other things, usually what they do is they go from Chief of Staff to going to be a senator or a governor. Anyway, who's worse, John Bolton or Michael Bolton? John, just because of that fucking mustache.
And the warmongering.
And the warmongering. Nah, the mustache alone is worse, but the warmongering just adds to it.
I don't know, because Michael Bolton had a mullet in the 80s and 90s. So, picture that mullet with that mustache.
But at that point, you're just talking about a child molester poster.
From Florida.
But yeah, so there it is, guys. Donald Trump wins in the least surprising political news of the year. And Nikki got embarrassed. There is no excuse for her coming in third and her trying to pretend that this was somehow a win is even more embarrassing.
Yeah. That's kind of like Hillary not having a prepared campaign loss speech.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I really think she thought she was going to smoke DeSantis and not in the way you think.
Imagine Vivek being appointed director of the FBI. That would be awesome.
That'd be funny.
I'm firing everybody.
Including myself.
Yeah, no, I hope Vivek stays politically motivated and gets some more exposure so that he is a viable candidate in the future. But right now, he's going on to help Trump, and good for him, man. I mean, he saw the writing on the wall with tonight's results. One final time, we'll take a look at the results here, Jack. There we go. With 96% of the vote in, 56,000 went to Donald Trump, 23,000 to DeSantis, 21 to Nikki, and 8,400 to Vivek. And some 35 idiots, for some reason, still voted for Chris Christie.
I mean, I guess you're not throwing your vote away because he's technically on the ticket, but you're throwing your vote away. Man, how does Asa Hutchinson even show up on here either?
I don't know, but apparently he's suspended his campaign now too.
Well, I thought he already did that like
so
weeks
did I.
ago. And
so did I, but
Ryan?
his name kept coming up. I don't know who Ryan Binkley is. I have no idea who that is. It kind of looks like Rachel Maddow back when she was in high school. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Guys, I do recommend watching the rest of Donald Trump's speech just, to see. He really was. It's a really good one for him. There's no bitterness or anger or any of that kind of shit that you would expect from Trump from time to time. He does bring up the election, but he lets it go pretty quickly and just like, we're going to go kick Joe's ass now. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Yeah.
It's one of his better speeches, and he does well with the concession or with the victory speeches. He knows something that a lot of people today don't, and it's being gracious and winning.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a gracious loser. It's even harder to be a gracious winner because you just want to brag, right?
So true. Thank you, Keldrick. Now, instead of a victory BJ, Nikki has to give a consolation BJ. Well, the consolation BJs are still pretty good because they're still BJs.
And it's still from Nikki, and it's like, I mean, do you really want to get blown by John Kerry? I'm just saying. With that, we are going to wrap up. We're just about the 2-hour mark, and there it is, guys. The first votes have officially been cast in the 2024 election. Iowa goes to Trump. We're on to New Hampshire in what? It's like 5 days or something, right? When is the New Hampshire primary?
I have no idea.
New Hampshire primary. It's on the 23rd. How long is that from today? 8 days.
Week, yeah.
That's next Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So we got that one, and then South Carolina follows closely. Where's South Carolina? It would help if my fingers would go where I tell them to.
Whatever.
That's in February, so we get a whole month before South Carolina. Oh my God, that's a month in Nikki.
So much Nikki on Fox News.
This actually works against her if she does manage to do well in New Hampshire, because then you have a full month of just waiting for the next one. You get that little bump at the beginning where everybody tells you how great you did in winning. Yay, go Nikki. But then the news cycle is basically dominated by Trump for the next month. It's a whole different world than it was, when these systems were put into place, or even when you and I were a kid, Jack, where that could have some serious meaning.
Yeah.
Even if she wins New Hampshire, that shit's going to be forgotten in a couple of days.
Yeah, because they'll move on to the next state, and it's not going to matter. DeSantis is still beating her.
If DeSantis beats her in New Hampshire, she doesn't have to drop out, but she should.
Yeah.
polling in South Carolina, last I checked, I mean, this is her home turf, right? This isn't even like with Florida, where, yeah, it's Ron DeSantis' state, but that's where Trump lives. This would just be her home turf. And getting your ass kicked that way, that would be embarrassing.
Well, I mean, she hasn't been governor there in 10 years?
Yeah.
So she's probably already lost a lot of would-be supporters just because they've been like, nah, it's been too long. You've been out of the game.
Yeah, in South Carolina right now, she's losing in the latest polls by 30% to Trump.
Yikes.
That's her home state, man.
I don't know. Is that really her home state, or is it where Boeing's based?
Well, it depends. Are you talking about where she makes her money? And even in New Hampshire, I mean, for them talking about how close she's gotten without DeSantis dropping out, Trump still wins New Hampshire. So I don't know. It's time to just admit that you're a dirty whore who's just out getting nationwide dicking while your husband's away.
Ew.
I encourage her to keep running, Jack, but I mean, at some point you got to look at it and go, there's just no win here.
Yeah, you would think so.
I know I said we're wrapping up, and we will. If Trump comes in tonight at 40% instead of 50%, maybe, but he took over half the vote. And if he does that again in New Hampshire, if he does it in South Carolina, at what point do you go, one of us has to drop out? One of those two has to drop out for either of them to be competitive.
Yeah. Well, the money's going to determine it, because somebody's going to get more money and the other one will be bled dry.
Thank you, Frosted Glass, who says, other side of the glory hole isn't a state. You don't know that. It could be on a border somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. Really, really do appreciate that. Jack, anything you want to chill out?
I'll drop a link to something, but thank you guys so much for the donations and all the support you give us night after night. I apologize for being late. I wanted to be here for this one, but I sort of fell asleep.
Shit happens, man. I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm still banged up from the other day. Give me one more day and hopefully we'll get back to some gaming, but I'm just going to go somewhere and rest, Jack. I'm tired. I'm beat up. I'm like Nikki Haley's vagina. I just need rest. Is that wrong?
It's a campaign season, monkey. There's no rest. Whenever you sleep, bad shit happens.
Dude, I slept and the Lions won. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, you have some sort of sleep superpower.
I apologize to the Rams fans out there. That one's on me. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself, Jack. A pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I sing a song at the end of my show. Sometimes about my penis, never about my toe. But now it's about my toe, so the song's a lie. Nikki Haley's a whore.